What's up, Legends? Welcome to another Week of Legends. I'm your host, Chobra. Starting as a translator, then a coach, and now a reporter for the LCK, it's none other than Quest from Invent Global. Thanks for joining us, Quest.
Thank you for having me on the show.
For those who aren't as familiar with your work, what is it that you do?
So I'm a journalist for Invent Global, and my job at Invent Global is to report on the LCK, but not just in the LCK, but within the gaming community as a whole.
Reporting from Korea, but towards a Western audience, what's the biggest difficulty there?
I would say cultural differences. It's in terms of just vocabulary to maybe just culture that maybe the Western audience that might understand and vice versa. I think bridging the cultural differences between the West and the East is the most difficult thing.
Okay, that's good because for all things considered, we are a weekly LCK show. So I want to take some time and report on what's been going on in the LCK and kind of around it.
Yeah.
But with a twist.
Okay.
You up for it?
I'm up for it.
Let's get started. All right, so I've got two boxes in my hand. The right side is a list of topics, current news, and then the left side has to do with a set of conditions related to these objects on the table. Okay. The goal is you gotta tell the news no matter what is going on. You good?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
All right, let's start with you. Let us know what you're gonna be talking about today.
Region rankings.
Region ranking, so LCK versus LPL, LEC, LCS, all right, and Chubby Bunny. Okay, so for our viewers who aren't aware, basically you gotta put as many marshmallows in your mouth as possible. This is an actual game, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Can I have one to just taste what it's like?
Okay, you wanna start with
poisonous?
One? Sure.
No,
okay, we're good, all right. How many can we?
Very funny.
No.
I have.
Okay.
Five.
Okay, that's not. I think that's good enough. Oh, okay. We got a challenger over here. Okay. Can you talk about the news? You're gonna go for more? You ain't about to put this whole plate in.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. I think we're good.
The carrot is true.
Oh, no.
True. The carrot. Go get a plastic bag.
Oh, God. Damn! All right.
I'm sweating. Oh my God.
Let's see. Franchising in the LCK 2021. Big topic. Lots to talk about. Not too worried about that one. Say ah. All right.
Here we go.
So
here we go.
All right, so franchising in the LCK, it's kind of in 2021. Big deal, very big deal. Lots of areas have already applied. You heard me. Mostly all Korean teams.
Sounds like an old man.
And so much is gonna go on. Lots more to come in 2021. You know? Wow.
That was good.
That's
I liked it. Yo,
whew,
props.
That's a bit of a struggle. All right, we're just gonna. Okay, so it's gonna be LCK Summer MVP. Let's see who's on top of my list right now. And oh boy. All right. Fire noodles. It's back. Okay. Whew. I'm good. LCK Summer 2020 has been going on. You can't deny that. Chobi, and it's not just because Chobi's been on top of things. I also want to give a big shout out to Kana. Kana's Camille, like other top players keep trying to bring up Camille, and Kana's Camille just makes me cry.
Really bringing in the fire.
Yeah, really bringing in the fire. Kana's Camille is spicy, all right? That's who would be my MVP for LCK Summer 2020. All right, well, what are we gonna be talking about?
Meta differences between LCK versus the world. And then, tickle, tickle.
Tickle, tickle. All right, well, there's only 2 objects left, and I think you can imagine what we're gonna be using here.
Nani? Oh God, where's this going? Yeah, so LCK, in the LCK, there's not a lot of Synders being picked up right now because players, there's like a 40% pick rate between, there's 40% pick rate in the LCK, whereas in the LPL and the LEC and the LCS, it's at about 80 to 100% pick rate. Whereas in the other 3 other major regions, it's very, a Leon is being picked up more in the LCK right now from in the LCK.
Now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about coaching and coaches in the LCK. You had a little bit of time as a coach within Korea as well. Tell us what that was like.
Actually, my job was quite different from, I would say, other coaches in the scene, where I would be more of a translator for the team, and I would help players trying to find a middle ground so that they can communicate efficiently, because we had foreign players and Korean players as well.
One thing that's been coming up as a big discussion topic is gaming houses versus training facilities in terms of how do you set up a team. What do you think works better?
You need to keep work and personal life separately to basically just live life in general. And if you look at traditional sports like football or baseball, basketball, they all have separate facilities where they work and train, you know, a separate place for like their housing. And esports is following that infrastructure, and I think it's a good step in the right direction. It's basically all set up so that the players can perform at their peak. Not just in terms of chefs, they also have like gyms and trainers as well. And I think collectively, they help for the players, obviously to stay healthy physically, but also to perform at their peak, where if your mind is healthy, if your body is healthy, it all contributes to peak performance.
So it's about keeping a better rhythm, maybe like a better pattern day to day. In the current timeline, we have to talk about Yamato Cannon because he's the first foreign coach to come into the LCK. And let's be honest, on the surface, it looks like it's working out. What's your take on Sandbox?
Well, I did interview him actually a couple of weeks ago, and I'm gonna use his words to quote, and he said, all he's doing is he's pushing the players in the right direction. And they bounced back from a 5-game losing streak to a 4-game winning streak, right? I would say it's working so far, and we'll just, only time will tell, I feel.
Okay, yeah, but overall, again, for now, looks good. And while they did have a couple losses, they won again against Solo and Prince over the weekend. And in fact, they're gonna be kicking us off as we talk about last week's top 5. So let's take a look. For number 5, we're gonna see a classic reminder here about why you should take defensive items even as an AD carry.
Right, so if you look at this play, LeBlanc was able to burst down Kennen, where Kennen is a huge factor in these team fights, but Sandbox was able to turn around this fight because Root had Guardian Angel, and because of Guardian Angel's passive, he was able to outlive the fight.
Yeah, and he stays alive, bringing not only victory to Sandbox, but also a place in the top 5. At number 4, and these are moments where League of Legends almost feels like a horror game.
Right. So Cuz was able to get the flank on Hano Life after they got the dragon, and because of it, it was able to transition into just them straight up killing everyone.
Yeah, I mean, even Faker just teleporting in at the end to make sure that they wipe the map clean and go for the win. Coming in third, junglers rejoice as Canyon's able to pick up the first ever pentakill for a jungler in the LCK.
Right. So in this scenario here, obviously Damwon is massively ahead right? And it's just them cleaning up. Canyon's Nidalee is able to pick up the pentakill, and he becomes the first jungler in the LCK to score a pentakill.
Yeah.
And he stated in a post-match interview in the press room that he's actually going to buy ice cream for the team later.
Well, he gets a new record, the team gets ice cream, everyone's happy. In number 2, we get to watch Keria's Bard once again as DRX comes in for a beautiful tower dive.
Yeah, so not only 200 years, not enough for aiming Zephelios to survive his tower dive. This play overall just reminded me of plays that's happening in the LPL where players like to take fights to the enemy and be fearless in their tower dives.
And that's why we continue to see DRX in these top 5 plays. And the best play of the week. Now this one's going to go to DRX versus Gen G, where not only was there a lot on the line for the match, but ending of game 1 right here, I mean, you already see picture in picture, there's so much going on.
Right. I'm pretty sure that even Gen G thought they won, because at the end of like the first phase of this team fight, Pyoshik and Chovy are the only ones left alive, right? But Chovy came in with the hero play, getting the huge 4-man taunt into the enemy and just cleaning up everyone, and which led to basically the end of the game, and it was so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, Chovy making the last-minute decision to secure the win, and that is why it's the best play of the week. Thankfully, we keep getting awesome plays, but we actually only have about a month left of the LCK as we head into week 7. So let's take a look at the upcoming matches of the week. The week will kick off with Damwon Gaming versus DRX, a clash of titans, followed by T1 versus KT, the Telecom Wars returning on Friday. In fact, both Damwon and T1 will be the teams wrapping up the week as they go up against perhaps relatively easier opponents. So Quest, what's the match of the week for you?
So there are 2 matches that I want to highlight. Obviously, the first one being Damwon Gaming versus DRX. In an interview that I conducted, DRX said that Damwon Gaming has the potential to beat DRX at any time. And I'm curious to see if Damwon Gaming is able to do that. And obviously, as a longtime LCK fan myself, I'm excited to see T1 take on KT. And who knows, maybe they'll shake things up here and there.
All right, well, let's see if these matches can change anything as we take a look at who's on top right now. Well, it is going to be DRX as they hold an impressive 11-1 record, staying number 1 in the LCK. On the other side of the standings, the east side as we like to call it, you're looking at KT, Sandbox, even maybe Team Dynamics looking to make some plays.
Right. Many are saying that T1 is underperforming right now during the regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, T1 just becomes a totally different team. And Africa is clinching onto the wildcard playoff spot right now, but I think that KT, Sandbox, and Dynamics all have the potential to take that spot away from them. Especially like to see the rookies of the LCK, Team Dynamics, take over that spot. Okay,
well, only a few weeks left, so we'll have to keep an eye on the standings to see who makes it to the playoffs. Well, before we let you go, Quest, I do want to get some of your thoughts on the rookie and challenger scene in Korea, especially given your experience.
Right, so Challengers Korea is closed off to the Western community compared to other regions. But if you look at teams like Damwon Gaming, they're performing extremely well right now. And they only got that exposure when they promoted into the LCK. And with franchising coming up, in 2021, I think that spotlight on these rookies will mean that not only will it mean good news for the team, it'll mean good news for the scene as, you know, people are actively looking for the next faker.
Yeah, I mean, there's always this dream that you're going to find the next rookie, whether it's as a team or even as a fan. So maybe some more insight and spotlight into the secondary scene would be good for everyone all around the LCK community. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts, not only on the rookies, but also just coaching and other topics we've discussed today. It was great hearing your insight.
Thank you for having me on the show, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. For more coverage of the LCK, make sure to check out all of Quest's content on Inven Global. For more content like this, subscribe right here on T1 Fighting, and if you enjoyed this week's episode, give us a like. Also, don't forget to let us know down in the comments below who you think is going to take that wildcard spot come playoffs time. With that, have a legendary week.